It's the fall season finale of the Double T Insider, and this week the Red Raiders were spreading some holiday cheer early this year as the Texas Tech men's basketball team visited the UMC Children's Hospital. Student athletes are known for their talents on the field, but earlier this week they showed off their talents on stage as a part of the 5th annual Tech Student Athlete Talent Show. Concussions are the hottest topic in all of sports right now. We caught up with some Texas Tech experts to discuss this and what's being done to help. And we go coast to coast with Lady Raider Jackie Patterson in our full timeout segment. It's the Double T Insider. Let's go! The Double T Insider is brought to you by the Texas Tech University College of Media and Communication and is entirely produced by students of the college. Welcome into the Double T Insider, everyone. I'm Joshua Koch, joined by Riannon Rowley, as this week we bring you the fall season finale of the show.
That's right. Sending a smile and sharing a laugh goes a long way during the holiday season, and the Texas Tech basketball team did just that at the UMC Children's Hospital. Erica Taylor has the story.
December equals the season of greetings and gift giving. This time around, Texas Tech men's basketball teamed up to greet the hearts of children at the University Medical Center just in time for the holidays.
It's a great time to just give back to people, especially during the holidays, and we're all together. And we love each other, so we get to go out and spread our love to people that some people have family, some people don't. We just get to just enjoy each other's company, giving back.
The masked Red Raiders came in hand with basketball shirts and team posters, lighting up the faces and creating smiles for kids at UMC. And one special person got the chance to meet his favorite basketball team.
What's your favorite team?
In the NBA?
Yeah. LeBron James. Yeah. You know, you're a LeBron dude, I already can tell.
What's your favorite college team?
Texas Tech.
Anytime we can, come, give service to the community and make kids that, are sick and not their best right now smile and happy and just have those moments of happiness. You never know how long that can go with a kid, and this might be a lifetime memory for some of these kids, and it's great to, give back.
The Red Raiders walked the halls and even suited up to spread holiday cheer. And for the players, it was a reminder to see how showing their appreciation can be a special memory for those in the community.
That makes me happy because, I remember being a child and just seeing, the high school players back home, just going to camps and seeing them, and it was just great to see them. And being that person now, it makes me real happy to be able to put a smile on someone's face.
I think that, waking up every day with your health and strength is something that we take for granted, and these guys get an opportunity. God has blessed them with an opportunity to go out and play college basketball on a big stage, and sometimes they need to be reminded of what it could be like if the tables were turned another way. So this is not for show. This is something that these guys believe in. They all have their own individual battles with their own families and stuff, so those guys having a chance to come out and show the people that they believe in what we're doing in our program, and they want the community to be a part of our program, I think speaks volumes, and that's why we're out today.
What's your name?
Jackie Patterson.
All right, okay, JT. We'll call you JT.
Okay.
All right, you ready to roll?
I am.
We got a game in a couple of weeks, so we got a chance to get some practice in for you, okay?
Okay.
Let's teach you the plays and stuff.
Okay.
Can you shoot?
Yes, sir.
Can you dunk?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, now you act like my players. Now you act like my players, all right, now you're good to go.
For the Double T Insider, I'm Erica Taylor.
Coming up next on the Double T Insider, we'll tell you how this is helping prevent concussions on the football field.
Welcome back to the show. It was Tech's Got Talent, or maybe some interesting talent, as the Red Raiders and Lady Raiders took their skills from the playing field to the stage. Riannon Rowley takes an inside look.
During the 5th annual Texas Tech Student Athlete Talent Show, Texas Tech athletes gathered to perform on a different stage than usual.
It was a good success. We had most of our teams participate. We had a huge crowd tonight, probably our best crowd yet so far. A lot of crowd participation, a lot of creativity this year, so we're really excited how everything came out.
The talent show allows athletes to come out of their shell to help support a great cause.
I definitely see them athletically and academically, but to get them on stage, you know, with the ribbons and with the glow dancing and singing, it's very fulfilling. And you know, it's benefiting a great organization in Special Olympics Texas.
Yeah, I actually am usually the one who's like most anti-talent show. I have not done it yet. I'm a senior, so I figured it was my turn. So I looked online, and I actually found this online. Someone else had done it, so I thought it was really funny. I thought it was easy and kind of doable. So 3 of us got together, and we practiced a little bit, and we had a lot of fun with it.
Not only viewers and participants receive the benefits of an entertaining show, but profits from the event go to help support the Special Olympics of Texas as well.
Our partnership at Texas Tech and with the Big 12 with Special Olympics is very important to us. So for us, it's huge. It's something that we want to do every year. We want to get more and more people here. We want to raise more and more money to support the cause and the efforts of Special Olympics Texas.
It's really great for us to be able to give back to them because they do so much and work so hard, and it's good for us to be able to recognize them tonight.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I think that's the one thing that gets us to go out and practice because we know we're helping a good cause. So, we don't get to do it a lot. We're so busy. So, one time a year in our off season, I think it's good for us to put some time into it and put on a good show.
It becomes an evening of letting go and enjoying the many hidden talents of other athletes.
A lot of pressure on student athletes, academically and athletically, and I get to work with them hand in hand through that process. So to see them come, loosen up a bit, have some fun, have some laughs, support one another, but again, support Special Olympics is very rewarding, and it makes my job that much more worthwhile.
For the Double T Insider, I'm Riannon Rowley. Concussions are not out of the ordinary when it comes to hard-hitting sports such as football. Joshua Cook talks with a few experts, and they explain what's being done to prevent these types of injuries today.
Football concussions are a concern from the NFL all the way down to grade school. But is enough being done to protect young athletes?
New study says local kids are being treated for head injuries more than ever.
It is a controversy which has pitted some NFL stars against their teams. How to handle concussions.
In the past few years, the topic of concussions has grown from being the Monday morning water cooler conversation to making national headlines. Vicious hits like these are the main reason why, as are the repercussions afterwards, but what is being done to help battle concussions?
Typically when we respond, it's myself, Dr. Fye, and one of my assistants. And our protocol we have in place is that if we suspect one or both of those injuries is, I will go to the helmet first and foremost and stabilize the head and neck. That way Dr. Fye can assess the consciousness and all the other vitals of the individual.
For me personally, what I like to do is to remove the athlete, not just from the field, but from the venue itself, and so we like to take them inside to do that. Part of the evaluation that we do requires some question and answering type things that what we want to do is give them the opportunity to give their best attention or their best effort at going through the evaluation. And when you're on the sideline still in the middle of a game, there's a lot of other distractions, a lot of other things kind of going on where they may not be able to give their best effort, and so we will take them on inside to be able to do the evaluation there, and that's where we'll start it.
After being injured, athletes must go through a range of tests where they scale the severity of their symptoms on a scale of 0 to 6, test their memory, balance, and more. And if they don't pass enough, they are done for the day.
If we're not 100% certain that the athlete does not have a concussion, then we're assuming that they do. And so there's just taking into some of the symptoms and some of the other things that they may not score exactly like we know that they can score on well enough, then we'll just remove them from competition and they're done.
Before getting to participate in that again, players must go through a long process, one that really has no timetable of when the player could be back.
For us, the comeback is whenever the athlete has become asymptomatic for 2 days, then it's 1 day of very light activity. Then if he has no return of symptoms, then the next day it's a little increased activity, like maybe running with gear on but with not contact. And if they have no return of symptoms, then we'll return them to practice, full practice with no contact. And then if they have no symptoms, then we release them fully. So just kind of whenever they get back in the game, this kind of depends on when we are in the week, when their symptoms go away and when we can get them back. Generally, once they're done, we may be checking on them just kind of as needed when things are going on, but it's not like a lot of set schedule coming back and checking with us.
A major component of contact when it comes to football is the helmet, and how much has been done to make it safer.
Joshua Cook here with Zane Perry, the Director of Equipment Operations at Texas Tech, and we're talking about the Texas Tech football helmet. And Zane, when we look at the helmet, it's changed quite a bit since you started back in '99.
It has. They've really just changed mostly the shell, made an oversized shell to help reduce concussions, and then a lot of the inner parts of the helmet, which we like to call the guts of the helmet, they change those, and every year there's changes to the helmet to do everything they can to help reduce the concussions.
Now, helmets are like any other kind of equipment. It breaks, it cracks. How much do y'all check the helmets, especially during a game, especially like offensive linemen, defensive linemen that are always hitting real hard?
During the week, we have our one day where myself and my 2 assistants, we go through the helmets and check, and then Friday setup, our students will go back through and double check and make sure they have helmets that they have to check, and check the main parts of the helmets to make sure everything's functioning and no cracks in the helmet. If it's cracked, we remove the helmet from the player immediately, and if there's a big hit, the player comes off the field, trainers are examining the player, we'll take a look at the helmet and just double check, make sure there's nothing wrong with the helmet, see if we need to switch it out.
Since Gamber, who started in the business 30 years ago, and Dr. Fye, who has been with the team a few seasons now, have both seen their fair share in changes when it comes to concussions and how they're treated.
Dramatically. And a lot of that's due to the science, the education, the knowledge. Everything we know about closed head injuries has really just grown in the last 5 to 7 years. I mean, yeah, we were educated on concussions, we managed concussions, we dealt with them, but we know what the effects are a lot more. And it's just the evolution of medicine, the evolution of science. I mean, it's not that we did wrong 20 years ago, is we just know more about how to handle that injury properly for the long-term betterment of the athlete.
And just from the time that I started here doing that to the time today, the treatment, the diagnosis, the definition of concussion has changed. So even 5 years ago, 5 seasons ago, concussion diagnosis or the definition was different then than it is right now. So things just keep changing.
At the end of their collegiate careers, most players will never play again, and Gamber wants them to be able to enjoy the rest of their life, and that's a responsibility he takes to heart.
These kids, most of our student athletes, will never make a dime out of this business. But I want them to be long, productive citizens, have families, children, and not suffer repercussions health-wise to what happened 20 years ago or 30 years ago when they were a student athlete here. My promise to the kid and the parent is I'm going to treat them like they're my own children, and if I wouldn't put my son and daughter in that situation, I'm not going to put your son and daughter. Now, does that make us popular all the time? No, because coaches want them to play. Athletes want to play. Sometimes you get even very big helicopter parents that want them to play. But we're going to make that decision based on what's best for that kid in that situation.
Reporting for the Double T Insider, I'm Joshua Cook.
Coming up, we give you a preview of what's ahead for Texas Tech athletics. And it's time for another full timeout. Double T Insider is back after the break.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. We put another 60 seconds on the clock for a Lady Raider in this week's full timeout.
Double T Insider here, and we're taking a full timeout with Jackie Patterson, a game where I give her 10 scenarios and she has to answer them to the best of her ability, all in 60 seconds. All right, Jackie, are you ready? Yeah, all right. All right, 60 seconds on the clock, please. All right. If I were stranded on a deserted island, the 3 things I must have are?
My mom, my sister, and money.
The first thing on my mind on a Monday morning is?
I have to get up to go to practice.
If I had to eat the same food every day for the rest of my life, it would be?
Sushi.
My teammates say I am?
Goofy.
My first job was?
I ain't had no job. Working the clock for basketball games for the house.
I would donate $1 million to?
The people in Africa.
My favorite quotation to live by is?
Philippians 4:13.
If I could teleport back into time, I would travel to?
Like date? I don't know. I don't know.
My favorite cartoon character as a kid was...
Oh, SpongeBob.
My biggest pet peeve is...
Oh, man. Dang.
Sorry, Jackie, you did not beat the clock, but thanks for playing anyway. I'm Erica Taylor with Jackie Patterson, and we just took a full timeout. With the show winding down, here's what's coming up for Tech Athletics.
Start the holiday break with a Little Red Raider basketball as Tech continues its non-conference schedule on December 16th against McNeese State. First tip is set for 5 p.m. Then on December 19th, the Crimson Tide of Alabama roll into Lubbock. First tip is set for 7 p.m. Right before Christmas, the Red Raiders face Arizona State at 1 p.m. on the 22nd. After the presents have been opened, the Red Raiders get to open a late present against North Carolina A&T on the 28th. First tip is set for 7 p.m. On New Year's Eve, Tech faces Florida A&M. First tip is set for noon. All of these contests being played inside the United Spirit Arena. Finally, on January 5th, the Red Raiders ring in the new year with their first road trip game and first Big 12 conference game of the season as Tech travels to Fort Worth to play TCU. First tip is set for 5 p.m.
After a 10-day layoff, Texas Tech women's basketball team will be back on the hardwood. December 16th, the Lady Raiders, 7-1, will look to keep their winning streak alive against the 2-4 Northern Colorado Bears. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. inside the United Spirit Arena. And later in the week, Texas Tech will head to Nevada to play in the Las Vegas Holiday Hoops Classic Tournament. The Lady Raiders will face Michigan State December 20th and square off against Oregon State on the 21st. Both games are scheduled for a 4:30 p.m. tip-off. On December 30th, Texas Tech will close out non-conference play against the Houston Cougars inside the USA. The game will broadcast live on Fox College Sports with a 2 p.m. tip-off. Texas Tech women begin Big 12 competition in 2013, January 2nd, on the road against Oklahoma State. Game time is scheduled for 7 p.m. And later that evening, the Lady Raiders will host Iowa State inside the USA. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m.
Game selected. The Red Raiders are playing in their first bowl game since 2010 and face the Minnesota Golden Gophers out of the Big Ten in the Meineke Car Care Bowl of Texas in Houston on December 28th. The game can be seen on ESPN with kickoff set for 8 p.m.
Well, that does it for this week's show, and it's the end of our fall season for the Double T Insider. Thanks so much for watching.
And big thanks to everyone that's helped out behind the scenes. It's made it a complete success.
Also, be sure to like our Facebook page and never miss another episode. For Joshua Cook, I'm Erica Taylor. Have a great holiday break, and we'll see you in the new year.